Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing a review and demo of some new products from Flower Beauty. This video is going to be sponsored by Flower Beauty. I have worked with them in the past, and Flower Beauty is definitely one of my favorite brands out there, so I was really excited when they asked if I would like it to team up with them for a new video. I have 3 different products that I'm going to be sharing about. I'm going to be reviewing each of them and then also inserting a demo of me actually applying them. I do have those products on my face right now, so I'm really excited to be doing this, and a big thank you to Flower Beauty for working with me again, and thank you so much to you guys for supporting me. I really appreciate it, especially at this moment in time. I appreciate all of the support so much. So if you're interested in seeing some new products and my reviews from Flower Beauty, why don't we go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so first up, I want to talk about these primers, and honestly, I think this is going to be my favorite product that I am talking about from the 3 items that I'm mentioning today. So there are 3 new primers here from Flower Beauty, and these are $13 each, and you do get 1 ounce of product, and this is what the packaging looks like. I will also insert some close-ups as well. One that I put on in the demo and the one that I have been using the most and gravitating towards the most is the Hydrating Primer. Right now I am very dry. Our weather here in the Midwest has been super cold and very dry, and my skin is definitely feeling the effects of that. So I've been trying to do anything with the word hydrating. I'm immediately just drawn to it. So when I saw the Hydrating Primer, I knew that one was going to be for me, but there is also a pore minimizing primer, which I do think is really nice as well. And I have some larger pores, especially over here in this area, and I find that this is really good to fill those in. And there is also the illuminating primer, so that if that is something that you tend to gravitate towards, this would be a good one for you. So my preference for the 3 primers would definitely right now first be the hydrating, and then the pore minimizing, and then the illuminating, but I have tried out all 3 primers, and again, the one that I inserted into the demo here is going to be the hydrating primer. So this one is my favorite from the 3 products that I'm going to be talking about, and it's because it just simply works. It does what it says it's going to do. From the moment that I started to rub it into my skin the first time that I was trying it, I was like, wait a second, wait a second. When I was first rubbing it, and actually it almost kind of felt to me more like maybe like a moisturizer type of texture, because it just didn't feel too thick. It didn't feel greasy at all, but it also felt very lightweight at the same time, and I really enjoyed the application process of it, and it kind of just felt a little bit different from a lot of other primers that I've tried, so I immediately was very intrigued. But my skin, you could tell, was definitely hydrated after I used this. And when I insert the demo clips, I have it putting me on, and then I kind of try to show close-ups of my skin after each application for each of the products that I'm going to be talking about, so you can see what my skin looks like. And I definitely felt very hydrated just with the primer on alone. And then after I put on foundation, I came back so I could show you again what it looks like after the foundation. I did not use a foundation that is a dewy foundation or even a mattifying foundation. It's just kind of one of those like in between foundations. It's a foundation that I chose so you could see how the primer reacts with a foundation like that, and you could definitely tell that I still have a glow and that I still have dewiness, that my skin is still very hydrated even with that foundation on. This is a primer that I have enjoyed using with some of my more full coverage and even some of my more mattifying foundations, because I'm not a huge full coverage lover, and I'm not a big fan of like a super matte look. I lean more towards the dewy side, but I still like the finishes or the looks of some of those other foundations, but I always try to pair it with a really hydrating primer or like a intense moisturizer before I do my makeup, and this one is really good. It's funny too, because I was never a big fan of primers, especially when I first started my channel. When I first started getting into makeup, I thought, I don't really understand what they do. I don't know what effects that they have on the makeup. And lately, more and more, I've been finding myself wanting to try more primers, wanting to see which ones are my favorite, and like not forgetting them when I travel. I used to do that as well, or just simply like going right in with my foundation. And now I am consistently reaching for primers. I've been mentioning them a lot in like my makeup monthly videos and favorite sections and things like that when I'm finding a good one, and this is definitely a fantastic one. So again, Flower Beauty has 3 new primers out there, so whatever it is that your skin needs. But if you are like me and if you are really dry right now and you're looking for a product to really help hydrate the skin, I would check out the Hydrating Primer. And again, these are $13, and of course everything that I'm mentioning will be linked down below, but this primer especially, I think it's fantastic. Except the product that I want to talk about is the Miracle Matte Translucent Finishing Powder. It comes in a package like this here, which I really do. I like this packaging. I thought it looked very nice. So this is a setting powder for the face. Now I will say that since I've been trying it out for a while, I tried it underneath my eyes and then I also tried it as just a setting powder for the face. And I think it's better just as like an all over face powder. That's how it's recommended to use, but you know, it's makeup. You can try things different ways. So I wanted to try it that way too, but I will say that I like it best for applying over the face. So inside you have, I'll insert some close-ups as well too, but you have this little powder puff here that is in the product, and that's what I use to apply it to my face. Sometimes I will use just a damp beauty blender and apply it over the skin, or sometimes I'll just dip a brush in and apply it that way as well, but you have a few different options here to use with this powder. Like I said, I like to apply it for all over the face, and what I have found this one good for is if I use a hydrating primer like the Flower Beauty one that I was talking about, and then I use like a luminous or a dewy type of foundation, sometimes it does get to be a little bit too much, and then it's nice to come in with some sort of setting powder, kind of bump down if you're like too dewy or if you do get shiny. And so that is when I especially like to use this one, especially in mostly like my T-zone area. A lot of times like the center of my forehead and my chin can get just a little bit on the shiny side. Sometimes right in here, not too bad, but again, you can use this to set it all over your face to really mattify the look, or maybe if you're a little bit on the oilier side and you look for a good setting powder, you could use this one as well, but I especially like it for my T-zone area. I don't mind the powder puff at all. I think it's a really fast and easy, convenient way, so I just kind of leave it in there. Sometimes certain applicators I don't love as much, but this one I've kept in there because I think it's just fine to work with. The only thing that I will say about this one that I don't quite love, and this is kind of my same complaint with just every setting powder out there, is that it's just a little bit on the messy side. When you use it, you know, the setting powder can kind of get everywhere or fly up everywhere or get on your clothes or things like that, but that's usually the case with about any setting powder that you try out. So that's my only downfall with this one, but I will also say that I have done the flash test on it and all of that, and I did not get any flashback in any of my photos that I tried this out with. Like I said, I tried it on my under eyes and then also to set my entire face, and I took several different photos to see if I would have any flashback with them, and I did not experience that with this setting powder. The Miracle Matte Translucent Finishing Powder from Flower Beauty is $13 as well, if I did not say that yet. Setting powders aren't what I would consider like an absolute favorite must-have of mine, but I do like having them in my collection for times when I do need to set my face. I'm gonna be wearing my makeup for like a long period of time and I really want to set everything in. I do like having a good setting powder to go to, and I especially like that this one didn't give flashback, so I do enjoy this one as well. And the final product that I want to mention is a setting spray. So there are two new setting sprays from Flower Beauty. They're called the Seal the Deal setting sprays. There's the long lasting setting spray which has a matte finish, and there's also the hydrating setting spray which has a dewy finish. And I know you're probably thinking after everything I said, like, I especially love the hydrating one for the dewy finish, and I do like this one, and I do think this one is really good. But I actually tend to find myself reaching for the one with the matte finish more. Now let me explain myself. I will say that I have been using the Flower Beauty primer quite a bit recently, and it is very, very hydrating, like I said. Then I also said that I just prefer foundations that have a dewy or a luminous type of finish, so those are mostly what I have in my collection. When I combine the two, I am very, very dewy and very luminous. So I do not need a dewy finishing spray when I have that combination. So that is why I like to reach for the matte one. I feel like it kind of like counterbalances the steps that I have in my routine to make sure that I look hydrated, to make sure that I look dewy and not overly dry. But, you know, at the same time, this is a setting spray, and it doesn't, even though it has a matte finish, it doesn't affect like my dryness. It doesn't make me look more dry or anything like that. It just kind of gives a nice counterbalance to the dewy products that I prefer to use. So that is why I've actually been reaching for the long-lasting setting spray with the matte finish even more. But, you know, maybe you're someone who was the opposite of me and you use a mattifying primer and then a mattifying foundation, and maybe you know, set your face as well, but then at the end you're like, man, I just look a little too, sometimes when it's all matte, it can look a little bit dull or like one-dimensional on the face, and you're like, I just want like a little bit of something to oomph it up and to make me look a little bit glowy or a little bit dewy. Then I think that you would like the hydrating setting spray. So that is what I think that one could be good for. But again, like my favorite my favorite out of the two right now is the one with the matte finish. Both of these are going to be $13, and like I said, everything of course will be linked down below. I also really enjoy the sprayer on this. Let me see if I can show you what it looks like. So it's kind of like your regular spray nozzle here. And I don't know if you'll even be able to see it on camera because it is a really, really fine mist. So every time that I spray it on my face, I don't have to worry about like, you know, sometimes you can get like the big droplets of the setting sprays on there. It can ruin makeup even. I've had that happen with me before. This is super fine and it just feels really nice and gentle on the skin. So I really do enjoy the actual spray on this one. It does say right on the back here that it's a lightweight mist, and I absolutely agree with that. This one is the setting spray that I have been reaching for lately, so I really enjoyed these ones as well. I think still the primer would be my absolute favorite, but I also really enjoy setting sprays. I do believe in them. I believe in them. You can use it to before you do your makeup. You can do it in the middle of doing your makeup, after you do your makeup. I'm a big fan of, a lot of times I do my makeup in the morning because then I film in the afternoons, and if I go somewhere at night, all I feel like I need to do is take a setting spray out and spray my face, and it just kind of like gives me a little bit of rejuvenation for my makeup application. So I really also enjoy setting sprays and believe in them. So I really enjoy these as well. These would be my second favorite out of everything that I tried out from today, but I really do like them. I like that you have the two different options. And again, like I said, these are $13. Okay, so that is going to be everything for today's video, sharing about some new products here from Flower Beauty. I hope that you enjoyed learning about some of the new products and seeing the demos applied to my skin and hearing my reviews on them after I've been trying them out for a little bit. I hope that you found this video helpful or informative in some way. I would love to know, are you interested in these products from Flower Beauty? What have you been trying from Flower Beauty that you really enjoy? And again, like I said, all the links and also some Flower Beauty social media and such will be listed in my description box down below. Another big thank you to Flower Beauty for working with me on this video, and thank you guys so much for the support and for watching my sponsored videos. I do appreciate it so much. But of course, as always, if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you will give it a thumbs up. I hope that you also consider subscribing before you go, and I will catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.